ArcGIS Hub. I know you guys are excited to get started. So with that, Hunter, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. You should be able to share over me.
All right, thanks, Bill. Hello, everyone. Unfortunately, you can't see my face today. We got some camera issues, but you'll have to just take my silky voice and look at my picture and try to put them together. But I will share my screen and we will get started. So yes, Hunter Ray, I'm the analyst here, the only analyst. That's why Bill's telling jokes early on. But today I'm going to walk you through Hub, and we'll see some of the many options with the Hub site. It can do any and all that you kind of want it to for this kind of data sharing initiative, collaboration. It's pretty awesome. This is a very simple demo because we only have a little bit of time, but I want to go through some of this stuff, and then we'll look at kind of how to get started real quick. We'll spin one up, and then I'll leave some time at the end for you guys to ask some questions, and maybe we'll have a few minutes to kind of show how things work that you guys are interested in. So with that said, yes, Hub, it's the best way to kind of transmit and share information to the community, whether that's your internal community or your external community. And as I was putting this together last week, it was like doing a PowerPoint, and I was going to share slides, and it's like the light bulb went on, like, oh, that's exactly what Hub is for. I'm sharing data with you guys. I'm sharing my I'm engaging with you, and that is kind of in a roundabout way what we can do with Hub. So we're going to use a Hub site to kind of go through today. So welcome to the 2021 webinar page. This is public. I can send this in the chat, and I'm going to have Bill post it, and you should be able to see it just without having ArcGIS Online or anything. So it'll be up for a few days. But so the big things to cover today, there's the biggest thing is there's two levels of Hub, right? So if you have ArcGIS Online, you have the ability to create a Hub site, and you get the basic Hub site. And then there's premium that you can add on to your ArcGIS Online subscription. But and keep in mind today, everything we're doing is with the basic. There's a lot you can do, but you get access to unlimited individual pages. So this is a single page design, and you can have as many as you want, and you can actually use hyperlinks to kind of bounce back and forth between the two or the three, or however many you want. But they are all designed as single pages. But you get templates. So at the end of the talk today, we'll spin up one using a template so you can kind of see how that works. And then you get the option for having like the open data portal for your site, your specific site. You can go in and handpick items from your ArcGIS Online content library. And there's different ways to get to that, but you go in and say, I want to add these items to the content library for this Hub site. So there's an open data a page for this single site that has items that I've handpicked to share with my audience that correspond to my message and my initiative. You also get a core team for collaboration. That's basically just a group that's created in ArcGIS Online. So you can add your internal organization members to that group, and you can have collaboration with data and edits on the page, and that kind of gives you that internal collaboration just for the site itself. And then you get content integration. So you can embed live items in the face of this page. So what you're looking at right here, these two boxes of Hub and Basic, are actually live Survey 123 forms that are put together. They don't have any questions. They're just a bunch of notes, but it's a great example of how you can kind of embed the data and embed your stuff right there, front facing, give it to the user right away, instead of just, here's a card or here's a link to this map or this app or whatever. And then you get sharing controls you can manage your site access through sharing controls. So at the end of this, and for those of you, if you are going to this site, if you've been to it, then you'll see that the one thing that you're probably not seeing on my screen that's on yours is a little red indicator on these survey forms that says you don't have permission to edit this form or submit data. So you can manage how your site looks and reacts certain sections of your page with sharing controls. So is it shared to the world, to the public, or is it shared to your organization or a specific group with users? And whenever that person, whenever your user comes to the page, depending on whether they're logged into your organization or coming as the general public, the page can look a little bit different. So I wouldn't recommend doing too much of that. I would recommend splitting up your pages for the public and internal users, but it can definitely be incorporated into a single page. So there's plenty of other stuff, and there's documentation that you can get to at the bottom of this page. It kind of goes over all the intricacies. But so premium, all the basic stuff, and then you get the access to these multi-page initiatives. So although you can have multiple pages with basic, they are all individualized, and you must manually link them all together using hyperlinks. With Premium, you get one hub initiative, one site, and it has multiple pages built into it. So depending on your needs and the scope of what your page is trying to encompass and share, that may be something to look at. And then you get templates for the initiatives, the multi-page initiatives. And you get multiple teams that can have custom collaboration roles and external users for collaboration. So those two things are like, if you have this really big project or you have some very complicated message you're trying to get across, you can have multiple people with different roles of maybe like content editors or page editors or other roles, and even bring in external users just by their email. They get this custom user that's built into this one hub initiative, this one page. And somebody like a graphic designer or web page designer could be brought in and not part of your ArcGIS organization as a user and help collaborate on the page. So again, there's a bunch of other things, but those are kind of the core things to think about. But with this hub basic, you can really do a lot, and you'll kind of see that today. So to get started, 5 easy steps. First, like this, create your site, go to Hub, start a new web page. You probably want to pick a template and give it a name, and it spins it up, and you got this blank slate to start creating content for. But number 2 is important. Before you start adding and designing, you really want to choose the audience. Try to sit down and think about what is the message, what is the what sort of engagement are you trying to foster? Who are you trying to engage with? Who's your typical user going to be? And make sure you have that planned first, because as you add content and design the site, you want to try to keep that in mind, and you don't want to create a general site and then have to go back and rearrange everything, because you want to just kind of have it tailored and have a clear message as you start to design. So do that first, and then start picking your content. And you literally can drag and drop content in here, and we'll see that at the end. But it's this low code, no code design that Esri has provided for Hub is fantastic for anyone that can use GIS. You can spend some time, and there is a little learning curve, but it's not much, and you can build a Hub site. So and then from there, start to collaborate. Always bring in some internal and possibly external, depending on the subject and the engagement you're trying to foster. Bring in some other people. No developer is an island. No, you can't be the designer and the test user and the end user all in one. You have to have someone else or a couple other people, provide feedback and give you some ideas and say, well, this doesn't make sense to me, and be okay with that collaboration and take that into account as you start to get something ready for rolling out to your target audience. And then the 5th one, you're always going to be editing. You'll do a lot of editing at the beginning, designing and tailoring things, but our content libraries in ArcGIS Online are always changing, and you'll have the core stuff, but then, you might want to add and remove things later down the road, and add some topics or some text or something. So just always be prepared to go in and edit your site and tailor things as needed if you get feedback. So the second piece there, choose the audience. The big question is, who do you want to engage? Is it going to be internal? Is it going to be external? Is it a specific internal group, a specific external group? Internal organizations, using a hub site for that is something that I think is underutilized, and Hub is more of like this open data sharing with the public, but it can be utilized to kind of foster some engagement within your organization. So if you have like a public works department, or a specific set of other users that are doing something specific, maybe they're not really good with ArcGIS Online for whatever reason, it's difficult for them, and you want to build them a single short hub site to kind of just direct them right to the things that they use every day, and provide some text and some feedback, and like just kind of help them. So don't overlook the use for internal hub sites that are very specific to a group or some sort of project. Outside of that, you can have a general public hub site. So I think that's kind of where most people's mind goes when they see or think about a hub site. But again, because you can have as many unlimited single page sites as you want with basic, you can have a specific hub site for something like, the city council really wants to promote some improvement projects, capital improvement project. Well, maybe if you have the GIS data and the content is there, maybe you build a specific hub site for that one project. Or maybe a university or something has a lot of GIS data, and they want to use, you want to build some engagement of that data, then you build a specific hub site for that. So it doesn't have to be all encompassing. You can really make it as broad or as narrow as you want. And then the last one, like a general citizen, your public engagement, maybe you have something like some public surveys for requesting assistance, or trash day pickup maps, some of those general things that we get in our public works, kind of like, city, county engagement, the content that we normally see. So with that said, here's the drag and drop. I literally had some surveys in our content library that we've kind of mocked up for some public engagement that, here I'm a, general citizen. I want to go on here and I see, oh, I can submit a survey using server 123 to request drain cleanout or a sidewalk repair, or maybe we're recording some local rainfall just kind of as a thing to foster engagement, or a wildlife observation reporter. These are just surveys that are public, but maybe there's a coyote on the loose in the city, or somebody's iguana got out and was out in my alley. I don't know, but you can just kind of start to conceptualize how this all works with, these are links, and then, live data embedded, and just kind of start to share that content and share that message. So here's an example of an embedded web app. So, this is live data. I put this together yesterday after we kind of had a final attendee count. And this is interactive. I haven't left the hub site. This is embedded. I can go in and look at some attendees here. We've got somebody in Roanoke. We've got some in Chicago area. And then if we zoom out, you'll see in some of these metrics here, attendees by country. We've got 17 in the US, and then we've got 5 other ones that are from different countries, which is so great, and something we really wanted to, kind of showcase and show that off. So another thing, you can actually access a raw feature layer in your content, this point layer, and just host, a single metric that you set up. So this is just counting the number of records in my point layer, and it's not tied to this. This is just kind of correlated. So these are all separate. 8 people from Illinois and 5 people from outside the US. And these are just kind of quick drag and drop things you can put in there. So just to kind of wrap it up, I got to talk fast because this is a very broad topic for a half an hour. But it's just people, data, and tools all coming together in one, and it takes a little bit of back and forth with your editing and your organization of the page and your development, but it's such a useful tool. That's it's so a web design made easy, right, for the GIS type content. And internal and community participants can all be engaged. You can share data, and it's important to mention you can share spatial data, which is kind of what we all are thinking, but there's also some non-spatial data that you may want to share. And if that's in your organization's content library, you can share things like spreadsheets and tables and PDFs. So and put that in the open data section of your page. And visualization of data, you're seeing that here. Without actually making people leave the page, they can get some data visualization options. And then collaboration, embed a survey, ask just for feedback on the site, a public survey, at the end, have somebody tell you, whether they liked it, 1 to 5, what are some comments, that kind of thing, get that collaboration going. And then transparency. Depending on the subject, it may be really important to have some transparent data and let people have a way to kind of go and see the progress of a project, or maybe some yearly metrics that are calculated for an area, a county, or something. And then just some other quick considerations. Everyone has the basic hub site ability if you're in ArcGIS Online, but you must be a creator user type, whether that's a custom creator role or the general creator role in ArcGIS Online. You need to be able to create content, and you also need access to the essential apps package. And these next 3 kind of all blend together, but keep in mind, you're gonna probably need to create and or modify your existing content for the hub site, especially if you're looking at sharing public data. So public data means the data in your organization is shared publicly. So some of the things that we all have in our content libraries may not be totally ready for that public consumption yet. So you may have to develop some other options, or just modify the existing stuff to make sure that it's ready for this hub site going to the public. And when you're adding data, the list of surveys here, oops, this can all be done by a tag, or if it's in a group. So tags kind of get overlooked for the most part, I think. And if you go in and modify the content you want to include with a tag or a set of tags, then it makes it a lot easier to add them to your website or your hub site, and add them also to the content library that's connected to this site. So keep that in mind as you go through your first hub site. But I've got some examples on here that are pretty cool. Just some things that I've found. Topeka, with Hub, you get kind of a lot of, early on, there was a lot of reference to, oops, that's not the right one, to Topeka's Hub site. And for some reason, it keeps going back to my own. How about this? All right. So Loudoun County, they have a really cool, it's very simple, it's short, it's got some cards here, some initiatives that they'd like to promote. And then they've got the open data. So this is connected to that content library they built. And you can go in here and search certain things. And these are pieces that they've handpicked to be available on this one page. So this isn't their whole library of data. And then there's some cool things, look at web apps and stuff. And then some other engagement things. This links outside of the hub site. This is, this goes to the Loudoun County's, individual request for assistance. It goes to a different web page. So, and another one, Topeka, they've got some really cool design. I think a little bit overwhelming, but, just things to keep in mind. And there's a Douglas County one, but we've got 7 minutes left. So I want to just kind of quickly show how easy it is to get started. So I'm going to go back to my homepage with the CloudPoint AGO and go to here, and I'm going to click Hub. So this takes me to the Hub site, or the Hub, the main page for Hub. You can see we've got some single pages here, random things we've done in the past. And if you want to, for most of you, if this is new, you're going to see, you don't have any initiatives. So, you would click new, give it a name, and then you can create it and it'll just be blank, or you can browse templates. So if you go to Esri, they've got a ton of stuff. Keep in mind that the ArcGIS solutions, a lot of them come with pre-made hub sites. So like this capital project tracking or community health outreach, citizen problem reporter, they come with a pre-made hub site built around that data. So if you're wondering where to get started, maybe deploy a solution and kind of see how they build a site around a specific set of data, as an example. And then, so you would pick one of these, but I'm not going to wait for it to make a new one for me. So I'm going to go back and start this over and pick one of my existing ones so I can kind of show you guys. So let's say I did that and I chose webinar test HR as my name. And so this, I picked a template, just a general template, and this is what I get. So it automatically puts the name in the header. You get a random picture in the background, and you can see, it's got some suggestions on the text and what to put in there. And you can start modifying this stuff as you go. So if you want to add a section, let's just say I want to add a map, a dashboard real quick. So you always start with a row and you click and drag, you drag and drop. So a row is a container, and then in that container, you can add some of these other items. So I want to feature supported ArcGIS application, and I'm going to click and drag that into this row. And now I see the edit button here. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to select my application. And let's say the citizen problem dashboard. That sounds, let's go to dashboard. So this came with a solution. This is part of an existing solution, but this is how easy it is to go and find a dashboard that you want to use and throw it right into your website. And you could, you can edit some of this stuff. This is like, if this was a project, these were maybe things that a list of steps or a list of things, and just kind of go in here and you can set up some hyperlinks. I mean, it's have some call to actions. Maybe this links to another single page you've designed. So like maybe this is something to do with the capital improvement project that city council wants to promote. Well, that little background could be here, a little picture, and then your call to action button could actually link to another hub site that you have set up. So, and then web maps, you can directly embed the web map. And so this is interactive. You can have the cards here, and this is kind of what you can manually go in and pick content if you know what you want, or you can dynamically say, hey, I know that I have a tag called Hub 2021 on a couple surveys, and I want to add only the feedback or the Survey 123 items, and I want to show 4, and I want to sort by popularity. Boom, you're done, and that's it. So we've got a few minutes left. It's quick, it's fast. I know it's a lot, but I think we'll stop here and see if there's any questions before we run out of time.
We do not currently have any questions
Oh,
yet.
man.
I know, that's all right. But
it's either really good or really bad.
That's all right, we'll take it. If you have anything, go ahead and drop those there in the chat, or the Q&A box can take those as well. Yeah, a couple minutes, Hunter. Anything else, or I can go ahead and put our contact information up for you?
So this page is going to be up for a while, this public one that Bill sent out, but there are links to overview and documentation in the bottom. There's a blog post. There's a ton of stuff on YouTube. But honestly, the best recommendation I can give you, I know it's overwhelming at first, but pick a small topic. Pick, a group of your data in your content library, and maybe develop something for internal use. And then, or if you do have a good set of public items that you share, just design a simple page, put together, it doesn't have to have like 6 or 10 sections of data in it, just a couple sections. It could literally be this underneath the header. and maybe a web map or something, and design it and give it a try and have some people look at it and see what kind of feedback you get. I think once you kind of get over the hump and design one or two websites, maybe one for internal and one for external, I think you'll get a lot of good feedback and engagement from those you're trying to reach and trying to interact with.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and put my contact information up there, or both of our contacts. So again, thank you all for attending. As a reminder, we do record all of our webinars, and I try to follow up with everybody that attended or not. So I'll be making sure to, in the next couple days, send you the recording. I'll go ahead and I'll include that hub site that Hunter set up, so you guys can look at that. Still, like I said, it's going to be live for a while. Maybe use that as, as reference for yourself. But we've got our email addresses up there, so please, anything that comes up, get a hold of Hunter or myself directly. Of course, the office here, 877-377-8124. You can always call and chat with us. We're all over social media, so you can look us up there as well. Stay up to date on current topics and offerings. But again, thank you all for attending today. I'll be getting in touch with you guys, and we hope to talk to you real soon.
Thanks, everybody.